Hello, this is Mrs. Crumpton. I wanted to review with my 8th grade math students some concepts before you have a test, which will be on Friday, February 13th during your regular class period. First off, we're going to review functions. I need you to remember that a function is a relation in which each member of the domain or your input is paired with exactly one member of the range, which is the output. Okay, so let's say that you have a problem that says find f of negative 3 if f of x equals 2x plus 1. Now you do not have to do a function table on this problem because you are told to let the value of the variable be negative 3. So we're going to take this negative 3 and we're going to replace it for x in your equation. So I've got f of negative 3 equals 2 times negative 3 plus 1. 2 times negative 3 is negative 6 plus 1. Different signs here, so you subtract. That would be negative 5. Okay. I'm going to give you a few problems. Actually, I'm going to give you 2 problems. You can pause the video and try these problems. Then I will go over them with you. I want you to find f of 2 if f of x equals x minus 4. And I also want you to find f of 6 if f of x equals 2x minus 8. Please pause the video to try these problems, and after a few seconds I will start back recording. After you've tried the problems, you can start the video. Hopefully you paused the video as I instructed you to try these problems on your own. I'm going to substitute 2 in place of x for the first problem. Different signs here, so I subtract, and 2 minus 4 is negative 2. For your second problem, I'm substituting 6 in for x. I'll work this out following the order of operations. 12 minus 8 is 4. If you have any questions about either of those problems, please be sure you make yourself a note and you come back to class and you see me about those questions. Next, we're going to review choose 4 values for x to make a function table. One value must be a negative. Then you will state the domain and range and graph the function. So your function table, remember we talked about how do I pick my numbers? You pick your numbers like you pick your nose, randomly, and you also want to keep small numbers, something close to 0. Okay, so let's start out with our values for x. Our function, which is f of x, equals 4x minus 1. And then, of course, we are finding f of x, which, by the way, is the same thing as y. Then I want you to also add a column, and that will be for your ordered pair. Choose your values. Pick your numbers like you pick your nose. I'm going to start with -1. I replace x with -1. 4 times -1 is -4 minus 1. Same signs, add and keep. That will be a -5, making my ordered pair -1, -5. Okay, next I'm going to choose 0. I replace x with 0. 4 times 0 is 0. 0 minus 1 is -1. My ordered pair, 0, -1. Next, I'm going to go with the number 1. 4 times 1 minus 1, that's 4 minus 1, is 3. So my ordered pair, 1, 3. The last value that I'm going to choose for x is 2. And I find f of 2. 4 times 2 is 8. 8 minus 1 is 7. My ordered pair, 2, 7. You're asked to state the domain and the range. Your domain is the x coordinates that you chose. Your range is the y coordinates that you chose. So your domain is -1, 0, 1, and 2. I think I said the range is the numbers that you chose. I should have stated that the range is the numbers that you got as a result of the numbers you chose for your domain. So your domain could be different from mine. You also, excuse me, you also state your range. And I know we've talked about making the braces, and everybody says, I can't make mine good. I don't care whether you make them good or not. Just make them the best you can. I'm not going to grade you on how pretty your braces are. I'm going to grade you on what you put in the braces. Okay, now I have stated domain and range. The next thing that we're directed to do is to graph the function. Okay, so the next slide, I will be graphing the function. Okay, students, to graph these points, these are your ordered pairs from the table that you just completed. We are going to plot the points -1, 5. You start at the origin, and you move to -1, and then you move up, down -5, and you plot the point. Next, you start at the origin and you do not move left or right, but you go down to -1, and you plot the point. Next, you start at the origin, you move right to 1 and up to 3, and you plot the point. And for the last point, you start at the origin, You move right to 2 and up to 7, and then you plot the point. Now, since these points are based upon the domain that you chose, this would be continuous data. So we will draw a line through the points, since you could choose any point you wanted. Discrete data would be something like if you were buying a CD. You can't buy half of a CD, you can only buy a whole CD. So that would be a time when you do not connect the dots to make a line. Okay, that is it for your review. Also, you will be receiving in your Google Classroom a worksheet that you need to complete to help you review for your test on Friday. I thank you very much, and I look forward to seeing you in class.